Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rideau Hall for this presentation of Canadian Honours. My name is Stephanie Milligan, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies today. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, et bienvenue à Rideau Hall pour cette cérémonie de remise de distinction honorifique. Je m'appelle Stephanie Milligan, et je serai votre maître de cérémonie ce matin. We are here to celebrate the outstanding contributions of individuals who have demonstrated excellence, courage, and exceptional dedication to service. Nous sommes heureux de célébrer les individus qui ont fait preuve d'excellence, de courage et d'un sens du devoir exceptionnel.
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, veuillez vous asseoir. Please be seated. Bonjour. Good morning. Bienvenue à Rideau Hall in the magnificent tent room. J'aimerais vous saluer dans la langue algonquine parce que nous sommes sur le territoire ancestral des Algonquins, ni Danamiquac, Kakina, Anishinabek, Umaka, Tewach. We are gathered today for a real celebration, a celebration of excellence. And je pense que vous avez choisi vraiment un très bon temps pour venir. It's a real good time to show up because the crocus are coming out, les petites fleurs bleues qui commencent à émerger. And the good news is winter is not coming here. It's gone, at least for a couple of months. So this is a very joyous occasion where we have a chance to really recognize extraordinary Canadians that have done special contribution in very many different fields. But before I go ahead, I'd like to talk to you about something we did a few weeks ago. Il y a quelques semaines, avec une délégation canadienne, nous nous sommes rendus au Rwanda pour aller malheureusement commémorer 25 ans depuis la fin du génocide contre les Tutsis, qui a eu lieu en 1994. Nous étions une délégation canadienne de parlementaires, de gens qui venaient des organisations comme Médecins sans frontières ou l'initiative du général Dallaire contre les enfants soldats. We were a delegation that went to Rwanda as a sign of solidarity. We went there to show very respectfully that in Canada, we believe that we should always look to try to build a future where intolerance, hatred, division doesn't have a place. Parce que nous sommes chanceux ici, nous sommes dans un pays fantastique qui nous permet d'être ce qu'on veut bien être. Nous avons un rôle à jouer. We have a contribution to make, Canada. And Canada needs people like you that we're honoring today. You come from everywhere in the country, from coast to coast to coast, from British Columbia through the prairies to the Maritimes. We salute them because right now we're facing the big floods of spring. And you come even from the Great White North, Nunavik, les territoires du Nord-Ouest, Yukon. I understand even two of you traveled from the UK to come here today. Thank you. We're here to honor you, to honor your excellence, your generosity, your service, your bravery. And we're here to celebrate and applaud what you do, and hopefully you will give wings to others to follow in your footsteps. J'aimerais aussi saluer tous vous, tous qui êtes dans cette salle, les amis, les collègues, les supporters, les cheerleaders, family, friends, and loved ones who are here because, as we know, there is no way we can ever achieve anything in life alone. There is this proverb, this African proverb, and since we talked about Rwanda, maybe it's fitting, that if we go alone, we may go faster, but when we go together, we go further. On va toujours plus loin, tous ensemble. Merci aux familles et aux proches qui sont ici dans cette salle. Et à vous tous, I hope you will find also within your community people that you can send nominations our way so we can recognize excellence, because excellence is everywhere in our country. Merci beaucoup et procédons avec la cérémonie. Bonne journée.
Merci, Excellence. We begin this ceremony with the presentation of the Meritorious Service Decorations in the Civil Division, which recognize individuals who have performed an exceptional deed or activity that brings honor to Canada. Les décorations pour service méritoire ont été créées pour reconnaître les individus qui ont accompli des actions exceptionnelles ou des réalisations remarquables. To receive the Meritorious Service Cross in the Civil Division, les récipiendaires de la Croix du Service Méritoire, Division Civile. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Henry Gorgie. Henry Gorgie has had a sweeping impact on air navigation safety as a senior official with the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, a specialized agency of the United Nations. His creative approach to expanding the organization's oversight program and his ability to forge partnerships among ICAO's member states have augmented safety procedures around the world and have enhanced Canada's reputation as an international leader in the field of civil aviation. Lieutenant Colonel Gorgie. Dr. Michael Patterson. Scientist Michael Patterson played the lead role in saving the Experimental Lakes Area, ELA, a unique research facility composed of 58 lakes and their ecosystems, from closure due to government budget cuts. Thanks to his resourcefulness, the ELA joined the not-for-profit International Institute of Sustainable Development, thereby safeguarding valuable experiments already in progress and continuing its search for sustainable solutions to the world's water challenges. Dr. Patterson. To receive the Meritorious Service Medal in the Civil Division, les récipiendaires de la Médaille du Service Méritoire, Division Civile. Caitlin Bateman. Caitlin Bateman founded Collège Amélioration Jeunesse, a primary school for Haitian youth residing in the Dominican Republic. Since its inception, she has shared her time between raising funds in Canada and working as the school's director. Today, Collège Amélioration Jeunesse provides schooling to 140 children from the poorest households of Puerto Plata, changing their lives through quality education. Miss Bateman. Diana Christina Beaupre and Adrian Watkinson. From England, Diana Beaupre and Adrian Watkinson created Far From Home, a project that preserves the memory of Canadian Armed Forces members who perished during the First World War and are buried in the United Kingdom. Over the past 10 years, the couple has traveled the country to identify, photograph, and record lost or forgotten tombstones of nearly 3,900 servicemen and women. Their meticulous research has inscribed those names onto previously incomplete pages of Canadian military history. Ms. Beaupre. Mr. Watkinson. Richard Bennett, John Raymond Dallaire, Robert E. Leblanc, and Patrick J. O'Brien. Inspired by a friend who lost a family member to depression, Richard Bennett, John Dallaire, Robert Leblanc, and Pat O'Brien founded Three Mountain Relay, an organization that holds non-competitive relay events in the Moncton area to raise awareness of and funds for mental health programs. Since its inception, the relay has raised over $300,000, contributing to the delivery of much-needed services for youth living with mental illness, their caregivers, and the broader community. Inspiré par un ami ayant perdu un membre de sa famille suite d'une dépression, Richard Bennett, John Dallaire, Robert Leblanc et Pat O'Brien ont fondé Relais Trois-Montagnes, organisme qui tient des courses à relais non compétitives dans la région de Moncton pour mieux faire connaître et aider à financer les programmes de santé mentale. Depuis sa création, le relais a permis d'amasser plus de 300 000 $, contribuant ainsi à la prestation de services essentiels pour les jeunes aux prises avec des maladies mentales, leurs soignants et l'ensemble de la communauté. Mr. Bennett. Mr. Dallaire. Monsieur Leblanc. And Mr. O'Brien. David Gutman. Bladder cancer patients David Gutman and Jack Moon founded Bladder Cancer Canada to provide information about diagnoses, share treatment options, and offer resources to patients, caregivers, and physicians. Their successful early intervention campaign, If You See Red, has raised the profile of the disease, while their annual awareness walk raises funds for and research for the Canadian Bladder Cancer Information System. Their grassroots organization has since become a national network and has been replicated internationally. Mr. Gutman. Michelle Sullivan. Michelle Sullivan's enthusiasm for preserving a scenic corner of Newfoundland is inspirational. As a leading figure in the Brigus Historical and Conservation Society, she has been instrumental in raising funds for the relocation and restoration of a working forge, as well as several other projects that evoke the village's past and its seafaring heritage. Thanks to partnerships she has built locally and provincially, Brigus continues to charm locals and tourists alike. Ms. Sullivan. We will now continue with the presentation of bravery decorations, which recognize people who have risked their own lives to save or protect others. Nous allons maintenant procéder à la remise des décorations canadiennes pour actes de bravoure, qui sont décernées à ceux et celles qui ont risqué leur vie pour sauver ou protéger leurs semblables. To receive the Medal of Bravery, les récipiendaires de la médaille de la bravoure: Corporal Drew Michael Abernethy and Constable Leah Russell. On July 29, 2013, RCMP Constables Drew Abernethy and Leah Russell saved several people from a burning retirement home in Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. As Constable Russell escorted the first victim out, Constable Abernethy crawled into the blazing unit on the first floor, but was forced back by the extreme heat. Constable Russell re-entered the building, located a woman with mobility issues, and carried her outside. Both constables then met up on the second floor, where they each entered separate, smoke-filled units to rescue additional victims. They were able to evacuate half the residents from the home before the fire department arrived on scene. Sadly, one of the victims did not survive. Corporal Abernethy. Constable Russell. Michel Denis Bourbonnière. On December 4th, 2016, Mitch Bourbonnière rescued a distressed teenage girl from the Assiniboine River in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Arriving on scene, he saw the victim in the middle of the river, drifting downstream with the current. With several bystanders holding onto one end of a rope, he grabbed the other end and started making his way out to the woman. As he felt his body go numb from the freezing water, he urgently called to the victim to swim towards him. The sound of his voice caught her attention, and she began swimming towards him. Mr. Bourbonnière grabbed the hood of her sweater with one hand while holding onto the rope with the other. They were then pulled to safety by bystanders. Mr. Bourbonnière. Daniel Desrochers. On February 18th, 2017, Daniel Desrochers rescued a man from a burning apartment in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Woken up by the sound of the fire alarm, Mr. Desrochers realized his neighbor's apartment was on fire. He kicked the door 3 times, screaming out for his neighbor, who had limited mobility and was trapped in the unit. On the 3rd attempt, the door flew open, but Mr. Desrochers quickly had to retreat from the heavy, black smoke. Hearing a faint moan, he crawled towards the sound and found his neighbor lying on the floor. He then successfully pulled the man to safety. Mr. Desrochers. Brian Dittmar and Steve Pryor. On April 1st, 2017, Brian Dittmar and Steve Pryor rescued a man whose all-terrain vehicle had fallen through the ice in Julia Bay, Lake Huron, Ontario. Mr. Dittmar and Pryor grabbed a rope and a roof rake and made their way to the scene of the accident. The men each tied an end of the rope around their waists before they started walking across the ice towards the victim, some 150 meters from shore. Mr. Dittmar tried to lift the victim out of the water with the rake, but fell through the ice himself. He grabbed the victim by the hood and, with the help of Mr. Pryor, was able to get himself and the man back out onto the ice. They then dragged the victim towards the shore, where a bystander helped them load the man onto another ATV. Mr. Dittmar then drove the victim to an awaiting ambulance. Mr. Dittmar. Mr. Pryor. Don McNeese and Richard Pick. On July 15th, 2014, Don McNeice and Richard Pick's float plane crashed on Cheney Point in the Seaforth Channel in British Columbia. As fire broke out on the aircraft, Mr. Pick quickly unfastened one injured passenger and pulled him out. Realizing the pilot was still trapped in the harness, Mr. Pick and Mr. McNeice hurried to remove him from the wreckage before the plane was completely engulfed in flames. Mr. Pick and Mr. McNeice provided first aid to the victims while nearby boaters contacted first responders. Mr. McNeice. Mr. Pick. Carol van Rooimbeke. On August 20th, 2014, Jürgen Batesel, Paul Hinson, Tobias McDonald, Carol van Rooimbeke, and firefighter Brant Hanna pulled two individuals from a burning plane that had crashed in Crawford Bay, British Columbia. The small aircraft burst into flames on impact. Despite the rapidly escalating fire, the rescuers worked together to successfully free the victims from the wreckage minutes before an explosion occurred. Sadly, one of the victims did not survive. Ms. van Rooimbeke. Mackenzie Terrence Vader Martineau. On March 25th, 2017, Caden Clouston and Mackie Vader Martineau helped people escape burning strip mall in Calgary, Alberta. Spotting smoke from across the street, Mr. Vader Martineau entered the three-story strip mall and started knocking on windows and doors to alert the occupants to the fire. As he was evacuating a woman, they became trapped on a balcony by the fire. He held onto the railing with one hand and lowered the woman down so she could safely drop to the ground below. At that point, Mr. Clouston entered the building, warning tenants on the second level on his way to the third story. He found two people in a unit and convinced them to evacuate. On his way out, he had to run through smoke and flames to reach the ground level. Mr. Vader Martineau. We conclude this ceremony with the presentation of the Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers, which recognizes volunteer achievements from across the country in a wide range of fields. La médaille Souverain pour les bénévoles rend hommage à ces individus qui donnent bénévolement de leur temps pour venir en aide à leurs concitoyens. Recipients of the Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers. Les récipiendaires de la médaille Souverain pour les bénévoles. Retired Chief Warrant Officer, Honoré Paul Elias Aucoin. Dedicated to preserving Canada's military history, Honoré Paul Elias Aucoin assisted his Royal Canadian Legion branch in Cheticamp to establish the Veterans Heritage Museum Society. He also helped to refurbish the Canadian Military Police Heritage Hall at Canadian Forces Base Borden, and has volunteered since 2006 with the Warriors' Day Parade Council. Chief Warrant Officer Aucoin. Suzanne de Courville-Nicole. Suzanne de Courville-Nicole est l'un des piliers de la communauté francophone de Calgary, où elle fait la promotion de la dualité linguistique et travaille depuis 1990 de concert avec la nation métisse de l'Alberta, Région 3. Depuis 50 ans, elle œuvre au service de la francophonie canadienne en s'impliquant auprès de l'Association canadienne-française de l'Alberta, de la Société franco-canadienne de Calgary, du Bureau de visibilité de Calgary et du Réseau en immigration francophone de l'Alberta. Madame de Courville-Nicole. Bethany R. Downer. In 2014, Bethany Downer founded One Step Shoe Recycling, which collects thousands of pairs of footwear from across Canada and redistributes them around the world. Combining community involvement, sustainability, and social justice, she has encouraged environmental engagement while helping those in need. Ms. Downer. Katie Hegdeviet. Katie Hegdeviet is passionate about health and fitness. Through her program, Boot Camps for Change, she encourages disadvantaged youth to use fitness as a path to wellness, empowerment, and success. She has also volunteered with the Trek for Teens Foundation and Reaching Up. Ms. Hegdeviet. Retired Master Corporal Richard Lesueur. An active member of the Kiwanis Club, Richard Lesueur has served on its executive at the local, provincial, and national levels. He has also been involved in the Edmonton Heritage Festival for the past 15 years, serving in various executive roles on the board, mentoring others, and leading by example. Master Corporal Lesueur. le lieutenant de vaisseau Pierre Lefebvre. Pierre Lefebvre se consacre à des causes en faveur des jeunes et des anciens combattants. Il est bénévole auprès de divers organismes sans but lucratif de sa communauté, tels que le programme du Prix international du Duc d'Édimbourg, la Légion royale canadienne et les Chevaliers de Colomb. Le lieutenant de vaisseau Lefebvre. Devin Liscombe and Jeremy Liscombe. Brothers Devin and Jeremy Liscombe started the Mission to Mexico project following a family trip to Mexico in 2006. With the help of their classmates and teachers, they have collected school supplies and raised funds to support educational programs in the poorest communities surrounding Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Mr. Devin Liscombe. Mr. Jeremy Liscombe. Johnny May. Every Christmas morning for over 50 years, Johnny May has flown his airplane over his hometown, dropping candies and gifts along the way. Year after year, he inspires a sense of hope and happiness among those in his community who see him as a hero. Mr. May. Maya Maria Michael. At the age of 6, Maya Michael created Maya's Friends to coordinate youth-run events to feed the hungry and homeless in the Windsor-Essex region. Since 2012, her annual lemonade stand has amassed canned goods and thousands of dollars for local food banks. Through other initiatives like charity walks, she has raised awareness of and financial support for the sick, the elderly, and the poor. Miss Michael. Danielle Ouellette. Danielle Ouellette se passionne pour le judo et est instructeur bénévole au club de judo Bushido de Claire depuis qu'il l'a fondé en 1991. Il a formé plus de 500 jeunes judokas dans son club qui sert à la fois de centre de conditionnement physique et de lieu de rassemblement social pour les adolescents de sa région rurale au Nouveau-Brunswick. Monsieur Ouellet. Réginald Pierre. Depuis près de 15 ans, Réginald Pierre est bénévole à l'Association de soccer de Saint-Michel en tant qu'entraîneur et arbitre auprès de jeunes de milieux à faible revenu, dont bon membres sont de nouveaux Canadiens. Il passe aussi du temps avec les personnes âgées et les amène souvent magasiner ou à leurs rendez-vous médicaux. Monsieur Pierre. Ravi Por. Ravi Por est fier de ses origines cambodgiennes et est notamment bénévole pour le Festival cambodgien, le Centre Khmer et l'École d'art cambodgien afin de promouvoir la culture, l'art et la danse du Cambodge. Elle fait aussi du bénévolat auprès de divers organismes sans but lucratif au Québec, comme le projet Arc-en-Ciel, pour lequel elle organise des collectes de fonds et siège au conseil d'administration. Madame Por. René Rio. René Rio s'est joint au service d'assistance canadienne aux organismes en 2004 et il a transformé de façon positive les vies de divers partenaires en Haïti, au Sénégal, en Algérie et au Burkina Faso, ainsi que dans des collectivités autochtones de l'ensemble du Canada. Il a œuvré avec ses partenaires afin de produire des pratiques normalisées et de renforcer les capacités institutionnelles en plus de mener les activités internes de recrutement de bénévoles au Québec. Monsieur Rio. Kenny Shaw. For more than 40 years, country music singer and comedian Kenny Shaw has raised funds through his performances to support Canadian troops and international disaster victims. He volunteers as a Master of Ceremonies and performer with the Comox Valley Child Development Association's annual telethon, which supports children with special needs. Mr. Shaw. Noreen Smiley. Noreen Smiley is well known for her creativity, innovation, and love for new projects. She has been a member of Communities in Bloom since 2007, raising funds to support many local initiatives. She also nurtures young writers through the Writing on Fire Society, which she co-founded in 2013. Ms. Smiley. David Taylor. David Taylor has been the driving force behind the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association, CASERA, for Morty Director. He has recruited, trained, and led volunteers in countless search and rescue missions and has ensured the continuity of CASERA's operations at the highest possible level. Mr. Taylor. Sierra Vandermeer. As a dedicated leader of the Contagious Mountain Bike Club, Sierra Vandermeer has helped people of all ages and abilities enjoy the outdoors through White Horse's Trail Network. With visionary talent, she has won grants, designed new trails, organized events, and created positive community connections throughout the club. Ms. Vandermeer. Mesdames et messieurs, félicitons ensemble les récipiendaires. Please join me in congratulating today's recipients. Mesdames et messieurs, dans quelques instants, nous conclurons cette cérémonie avec l'interprétation de l'hymne national par Madame Danielle Girard. Veuillez ensuite demeurer à vos places jusqu'à ce que Son Excellence et les récipiendaires aient quitté la pièce. Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, the ceremony will conclude with the singing of the national anthem by Ms. Danielle Girard. Please remain standing at your places until Her Excellency and the recipients have left the room. You may leave your program on your chair. Staff will collect them and you'll be able to pick up a copy before departing. Nous vous invitons à laisser votre programme sur votre chaise. Nous les ramasserons et vous pourrez vous en procurer une copie lors de votre départ. Merci de votre présence. Et maintenant, veuillez s'il vous plaît vous lever pour l'hymne national.